Good morning, Blue family.
All right. Tell us who you are.
Hi, my name is Martine Lissa Malivers. For those of you who don't know me, welcome to my session entitled Realizing the Dream Part 3, Black or African American, Part 1 of that part. The 30-minute session that I have been banned from, but
Yeah, you will.
things happen and I'm here. Good morning, Facebook. Let me see. What do y'all need to bring with you today? Please bring, most importantly, open heart and open mind. We're going to have a discussion that some people may find a little bit triggering, but I think it's past time and very necessary to do so. So invite people in and let's get the conversation started. We have no one at the door, guys.
Not yet.
Wow. Okay, let me see. Let me get on my phone then.
Right? Not even your best friend, Teresa Scott?
Yeah, Adam.
Adorable.
What's
It's
up?
just 7. Give him some time, yo. So keep telling us, like, what's happening? Who you be? What you doing? The
Okay.
Facebook is definitely, they still have the option to come up in here.
Yes, if you're on Facebook, please join us. I'd actually need people for this discussion in the space. It's going to be very interactive. Um so yeah, I'm a research nurse. I also teach child sexual abuse prevention. I'm a child advocate. I'm a survivor of child sexual abuse, and I am a youth facilitator. And I like to discuss topics that people don't usually like to address. I like to say that I identify toxic norms of society, and I try to bring about a change and remedies for those toxic norms. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, really addressing the youth and us as elders and our commitment to the youth. I feel like there's a major disconnect, and we probably said that for years, but I think we need to start addressing specific aspects of that. I know me being a mother, there's a lot of behaviors that I've seen in my daughter where I'm like, dang, I never thought to address that with her. And had I, maybe this wouldn't have come about. I don't know if anybody has had that experience, but you know, little things from certain things with hygiene to whatever. Like, there's so many things, and again, we don't get a handbook on how to parent, so those things come up. But when we discuss them in spaces like this, we can spread the word, and the parents who come after us can do better. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Professor Marion.
Good morning.
How are y'all? I feel like I haven't seen y'all in forever.
I know.
Where is everybody? Help me get everybody in here. Good morning, Rashida. Oh, y'all just late this morning. Or maybe I'm early, right?
No, not at all. There's usually more people, and they're
No, I'm
coming
for
in,
me.
and I'm working on the back end, bringing people in. So, like how you said, you could invite folks in WhatsApp, some of the groups. That would be great. And here we go. I'm going to play the opening song.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning, we're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing?
Your sound.
Oh, I'm muted.
No, not muted, just low.
Oh, how about now? How about now?
But much better.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. My name is Martine Lissa Malivers. I can't do two things at once. I'm trying to post this on Facebook so we can get more people in here. And I'm doing a good job. My name is Martine Lissa Malivers, aka the Change Maker. Okay. I told this story before me changing the spelling of Change Maker because I could not afford to buy the domain for Change Maker. It was a lot of money, so I put an I in there, and I was like, "That's so perfect because change has to start with me, right?" And I'm also trying to break chains and cycles. My purpose is to gain consensus in identifying toxic norms and replacing them with new, healthy norms through creative and engaging programming, such as Wake Up Everybody, for the betterment of society. And we go to the next slide. And in true change maker fashion, I start off all of my sessions. On the left-hand side, there's a topic norm that I've identified. And on the right-hand side is a change that I would like to see. So, this session, I've been thinking about it for a while now, but it was a long time coming. I am technically, I guess, Haitian American. And growing up, I was born in 77, born in 77. I went through a lot as far as with identity politics. Um, both my parents were Haitian, born in Haiti and moved to America. And that was a struggle within itself. So I just want to preface saying that the intention of the session, that's what it's rooted in. Me being a little light-skinned Haitian girl and seeing the world, how I see the world and how the rest of the world sees me. Okay, so it's spelled so wrong here. But usually the toxic norm I identify is a statistic, but sometimes it's an opinion. So this time it's an opinion. And my opinion is that many seeds of the diaspora are setting us back by exacerbating divide within the Black community. Our increased access, success, and advancements in America have distracted many elders from their responsibility of shaping the youth's sense of identity. So I feel like what I described when I was younger, which was I'll say Black Americans, Black people who were born in America and who like 1, 2, 3 generations before were also born in America. So they went from Africa enslaved right to America. And Caribbean folk fighting, and there was a lot of separation. And I remember growing up, there were gangs. There were Black American gangs and then Haitian gangs in particular, because there were more Haitians than any other Caribbeans in the small town that I grew up in. And they would fight and have even killed each other. And that was a very, very, very traumatic experience for me. And as I grew older, of course, it has changed. I guess we went back because I feel like this is something that we go through back and forth, back and forth. I feel like we went back to a sense of unification and, Pan-Africanism, if you will. And now I'm starting to see, from being a mother and being exposed to my daughter's social media and those groups, I'm starting to see the youth is going back to that. And now that there are more platforms to be vocal, there are things that we went through as children, where we were very ignorant, mistakes that we made that weren't publicized. But now with social media, everything is out there. It tarnishes our image, but then it also can spread misinformation. So, does everybody understand what I'm saying? I want to hear from anybody who does not understand. We have a 30-minute session. We're only 10 minutes in. So we need to be very mindful of what we're saying and keep it down to the necessary. So is there anybody who doesn't understand what I'm talking about?
Raise your digital hand, drop it in the chat. I don't understand. No, whatever the answer is. If y'all got it, let us know you got it.
All right. I think everybody gets it.
All right. Awesome.
So the change that I would like to see is unification of the Black community across the diaspora, rooted in love, the creation of intentional spaces for open and honest cross-cultural dialogue that promotes accountability and the education and celebration of our diverse identities, respect for our origins, respect for those who paved the way for us in America, and collective pride. So I want to know if I have your consensus in this, or does anybody disagree before we move on? And if I have your consensus, raise your digital hand, drop a yes in the chat. Let me know that y'all are alive and half awake.
All right now, family. What's up? It's Wednesday. Adam and Build and Boss Up Network. Lasmine, Jametta, Laura, Mwanja, Marilyn DJ, Rashida. What say ye? All right, I see Ashe from Professor Marilyn, Ashe Yo. I see Build and Boss Up that said Ashe. Jametta said, absolutely. Laura raised her hand. Or you to say you affirm, or you want to say something, Laura?
I got it.
All right, awesome.
Beautiful. All right, we can go to the next slide. And the next slide is just trigger warning. You know that my topics are often triggering. So this might be a very traumatic and triggering conversation. It can also get disrespectful. So I just ask for everybody to be respectful and again have open mind and open heart. And then we can move to the next slide. You moving the slide, Shani?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so before we start, I want to go over some terms because there's just so many terms and we use them interchangeably. But we're going to go with these definitions for the purpose of this session. All right. So race, a social construct that categorizes people based on physical traits, mainly skin color. I think it's a little deeper than that, but race will be Black, white, Asian, Native American. And you see there's not many options there, right? For all the people in the world and the identities, there are only 4 races. I don't know if anybody else is aware of another one. Let us know. But these are the ones that I'm aware of. Then you have ethnicity, a group identity based on shared culture, language, religion, or ancestry. Examples would be Hispanic, Han Chinese, so that's a specific Chinese, Ashkenazi Jewish. I've never even heard of those, but they're quite specific. Okay, so that's ethnicity. Then there's heritage, the traditions, values, and artifacts passed down from previous generations. Italian heritage and Yoruba heritage are examples. I don't know if those are the best examples either. And then nationality, legal membership or citizenship in a specific nation or state. Examples are American, Nigerian, Brazilian. We have culture, the custom, arts, social institutions, and achievements of a group. Examples are Southern US culture. Okay, so Southern compared to Northern. Arab culture. You have other examples in subculture. You have hip hop culture, things of that nature. So that's what we're going to consider as culture. And then there's ancestry, a person's biological lineage or genetic heritage. Examples: Scandinavian ancestry, West African roots. All right, so I think that you guys get it. You can bring the slides down now.
Should take it down or move on?
You can take it down.
Okay, no problem.
So I want to check in with you guys. They're asking you a few questions. I actually need 2 volunteers. And I need volunteers who identify as being Black American. Black American meaning that you were born in America and you are Black. Your parents were born in America and they are Black. And their parents, or your grandparents, were born in America and they are Black. And the assumption is that their ancestors were enslaved and brought to America, or they were already in America for since the 1500s. Okay, so that's what we're calling Black Americans. So I need 2 people who identify as such to come play with me and come on camera if you can. I don't see anybody on camera. It's okay, I guess, if you don't want to come on camera, but that would make it a little easier for me, make me feel a little bit better. Do I have 2 volunteers, please?
So just for clarification, 3 generations of American-born Black folk you want in the space?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anybody up in here? We may not have that. Who knows? I mean, I'm one person, but I want the participants. Jametta, 3 generations of African-American-born folk? I know no to Rashida.
Yes,
All right. Thank you, my love. You down to rock with Martine?
of course, of course. I'm running that team.
Yeah. IT. And maybe Veronica too. But go ahead.
No, I don't think Veronica.
So she ready. You want to pick the second person before you carry on?
Yes, please.
Okay. You said you don't think Veronica because her people are from the Caribbean?
I think, yeah, Veronica's people.
Maybe Baba Kojo, but he just landed in the space. So let's see. Let him breathe a little bit. You have a lot of folks that have West Indian heritage in the space.
Who's building Boss Up?
Who's building Boss?
You want somebody who has West Indian heritage now?
No, they have to have 3 generations of African American heritage.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks with Caribbean or African background in space. Oh, Jametta, and then there's Build and Boss Up just unmuted.
Yeah. Hey, good morning, family. Peace. Yeah, I do. I have three generations. Well, I mean, I'm African American, and my family is from here. So yeah, I would definitely meet that criteria.
Okay, so why you raise your hand to come play with me?
Yeah, I could do that. No
All right.
problem.
Thank you. Thank you. Can we spotlight people who are non-camera?
Not if they're not on camera, only if they are on camera.
Are y'all able to come off camera?
On,
You
not on.
on camera?
Oh, he's on camera. Hold on one second.
I'm on camera.
And then Jametta, you want them on at the same time?
Yes, please.
Okay, no problem.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning,
What is your name? What should we call you?
Munir.
Monir?
Yes, ma'am.
Nice to meet you, Monir.
Thank you. You as
Hi,
well,
Jametta.
Martine.
Thank y'all so much. Okay, so I want y'all to do something really, really simple, okay? I'm going to ask you your race, your nationality, your ethnicity, your culture, and your ancestry, okay? I'll model for you first. Then I want you to tell me a few highlights about your culture, okay? And you can include history as well. And then I want you to name one time you felt discriminated against or simply disrespected because of one of your identifiers by a member of your own race. Okay? So I'm going to say your name first. My name is Martine Lissa Malivers. I am Black. That is my race. My race is Black. My nationality is American. My ethnicity is Haitian. My culture, I subscribe to a couple cultures. I subscribe to American culture, African American culture, Haitian culture, and Haitian American culture. My ancestry is African, Taino, and Asian. Okay. A few highlights of my culture. I'm going to talk about Haitian culture. I'm Haitian. We are a vibrant culture. We have really, really good food. Lots of spices. We have compa music, and a little bit of history. We're the first Black Republic. We defeated the French in 1804. That's probably what we are most famous for. And I have a good sense of Haitian pride. I'm not the person that you'll find a Haitian flag hanging off of my mirror like most Haitians. But I am proud to be Haitian. One time that I felt discriminated against or simply disrespected. So I felt discriminated against so much to the point that when I was younger, I passed. So you know how very, very light skinned people pass for white? Well, I passed because I was light skinned and because I was very Americanized, I passed for Black American. I was very ashamed when I was younger to be Haitian because Haitians were made fun of in school. Where the accents were made fun of, the way that we dress, we were told that we stink, all types of things. So a lot of people, once I was able to get my mom to buy the clothes that I wanted and dress myself the way that I wanted, and I made sure that I spoke in, I don't even know what to call it. I sounded differently than other Haitian Americans. I sounded more Black American. And so I was able to pass. And one day I was exposed. I remember I was at camp with a lot of proud Haitians who were not like me. They had the courage to stand up against people who bullied them. And they were asking a bunch of us because they were like, wait a minute, you guys are Haitian? Because they were like, oh, you're so cool. How could you be Haitian? And so they would ask each person if they were Haitian, and I acted like I didn't hear. And then this one little boy was like, it hit him. He was like, Martine, have you been sitting here acting like you were Haitian the whole time? And I was so embarrassed, and that was such a traumatic experience for me because I was exposed. So I was embarrassed that I was exposed and that now they knew that I was Haitian, but I also really, really, really felt ashamed. Felt ashamed. But that was like the turning point for me. And I just began this kumbaya unification of Haitians and Black Americans in my community. So I want y'all to tell me something similar to that, hopefully a lot shorter. So don't forget, we're doing race, nationality, ethnicity, culture, and ancestry. I forgot your name already. Tell me your name again. Mom.
Munir?
Munir.
Okay.
You can go first. I'm gonna put these.
I'm gonna go first.
Yes, and I'll put them in the chat too. So you're gonna say your name and say my race is, nationality is.
Okay.
I just put them in the chat.
Okay, awesome. So, all right, so my name is Munir. I would say, let me look at that again. Sorry. My race. Okay. Yeah, my name is Munir, Munir Ali, and my race is Black. I would say it's Black. I will use that term generally because I know that there are this is such a wide implication to say that. But when I speak of it, I kind of speak a little bit more particularly. I guess I'll go into that in a second here. My nationality is American. I was born here. My parents were born here. My ethnicity, I guess you can say, is Black American. As far as yeah, we'll say that. We'll say my ethnicity is Black American. I don't have any Caribbean or any other diaspora connections pertaining as far as family is concerned. My culture is I want to say I mean, okay, yeah, my culture, I would say my culture is Black American. And the reason why I would say that again is because, I'm Black. I was born in America, so my experience has been relative to the cultural experience of Black people in America. Um, Particularly, although I'm from the Midwest, I have traveled to different regions within the U.S., so I have encountered different regional iterations of Black culture. So overall, I would say that, and again, I think that's something particular. And my ancestry is, as far as I know, is African. Um, and as well as African descendants of slaves or whatever, is that's within my ancestry as well. I'm sure there's probably some mixtures there, but as far as I've been able to identify, I would say my ancestry is definitely African. The reason why I felt a little bit of I don't want to say uncertainty, but a little bit of uh, push, back from that particular line of questioning, is because I've done a lot of studying into our African origins as a people. I would like to say the pursuit of knowledge itself. I spent a long time in the pursuit of the knowledge itself, and in doing so, I gained a closer affinity towards rediscovering and reclaiming and accepting my African heritage more so than my Black American culture. And the reason why is because I've learned a lot about the development of Black American culture, and I understand that it wasn't always an organic thing. So I'm real hesitant to make that attribution because I kind of understand the history behind it and know that it wasn't always something organic that we can say, occurred naturally among us enough for us to say, oh, this is our culture. A lot of it was forced, a lot of it was responsive, reactionary, and a lot of it was deliberate and excluding our African identity. So that's the term that I usually use is identity. So I would say, what is my identity? And that would kind of encompass race, nationality, culture, and more so worldview as far as how I see myself relative to being Black in America. So me personally, I identify as African American or Black American, and I have a closer affinity towards realigning with the African heritage, as far as history is concerned. I've never really had any type of discrimination for being Black American. I mean, not from any other ethnic group within the diaspora. I've never really had any of that. To be honest, if I could say if there were any particular issues, it probably was with my own people when I was growing up. I was always dark skinned, and I remember one time. I I remember one time in elementary school. I had a girlfriend who had a sister who had like was out of town or something, and she came into town. She was a lot older than us, and I went to go visit my girlfriend and her sister. As soon as she seen me, the first thing she said was, "Oh, what part of Africa are you from?" Now, mind you, her and her family were pretty light skinned, and I had always encountered that colorism for the most part, but when she said that, it just broke my little heart, man, because everybody started laughing, and it just made me feel so uncomfortable, and it was considered an insult then, and it was a joke, but for being dark skinned, that was like an insult. That was like somebody talking down on you. And it was only after growing up and after going through my stages of studying where, I learned more about, African history, or more about our history as Black people and as Africans, where I understood that there was a deliberate defamation. There was a deliberate narrative that was spread within a society to demean, us as Africans and to get us to hate that part of us. And I don't know, that just instilled a greater sense of pride in me of, my African heritage once I came to that understanding. But at the time, I was devastated. I think I literally ran away. Like I was young, I ran. I didn't
Let me
stick
stop you for
around. I
time.
ran.
Let me stop you for time. I
Yes,
want to ask
ma'am.
you a question. You said you were born and raised in the Midwest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hmm.
And I want to ask you is what you said about the Black American experience being organic. Would you say that that's possibly the same experience as Caribbean folk or other enslaved Africans in the Americas and the world?
Well, yeah, I would say in America it's the same. If for the Caribbean or other diaspora folks who were born in America, maybe not if they had experience within their own cultures, within their own nations, because I'm not sure how the narrative is spread there. I
Okay, so
do
you're
know
saying
that.
within their own. So the difference being that you Black Americans exist in the nation of their oppressors and the colonizers, and then they Caribbean people have their own.
Yeah, I mean, to a degree, I do understand that in a lot of Caribbean cultures, there was colorism as well, and there was cases of the lighter skinned individuals discriminating against the darker skin. I know that that was an issue, across the diaspora, particularly in the Caribbean. But yeah, I think it was definitely a unique situation in America where we didn't control that imagery. We didn't control that imagery. We didn't control that information or input that was given to us about who we were. We never controlled that. So therefore there was always an identity crisis. There's always been an identity, and I think it still exists. I think it's actually getting stronger now. But yeah, there's always been an identity crisis, and I think that affects a lot about what we see about ourselves as Black people in America.
Okay, thank you so much. I really
Yes,
appreciate
ma'am.
you. All right, everybody, it's 7:33, 6:33 where I am, 5:33 where Kaisha is. And I'm gonna need about 10 more minutes. Because after we talk to Jametta, we're basically gonna wrap up. And now you guys can see why I said this is part 3 of realizing a dream, but part 1. So realizing a dream was an initiative that I started with the Woo community, and we dedicated ourselves and failed to starting groups to kind of offset this presidency. And one of the things I want to ask you guys next time is everybody was so up in arms in February, March, and we wanted to do all of this. But what I said, I think what happened, I think has happened, and we've become complacent as usual because I said most of us will coast through this presidency. And I don't feel a sense of urgency anymore. And so we had a bunch of committees that we were going to start, and we were going to do all of this, and it really just never came into fruition. Um, I do want to acknowledge the people who did follow through, but of course, it can't just be one, two, three people. And I said that if everybody doesn't stick to their commitment, I wasn't going to do it. So one of the things that I really do want to take advantage of is, even if we can't we can't accomplish the broader scope of what we try to do, that we have real conversations like this, because I think it's really, 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 really important. And as much as I've talked about this, and just hearing what you said right now, I've picked up about three things that I never thought about before. So I thank you so much for coming off camera and doing this. And I hope that you're able to join us next time, because I really want to broaden this conversation. This is just a little preview for y'all to see what the issue is. Okay, so we're going to move on to Jametta. Jametta.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Do you have the prompts, or you need me to put them in the chat again?
I think I have it. So my race is Black. My nationality is American. My ethnicity is Black American, African American. My culture is Black culture, New York culture, Southern culture, the Black diaspora culture. My ancestry is African, West African culture, and Native American culture. Some things about my culture. I think it's interesting. My parents are, and a lot of my family members are part of the migration up north. So they have Southern roots, but they were New Yorkers. And I think that's a culture all in itself. Food is a big thing in my culture. And even in that melding of two families, my father was from Southern North Carolina. My mother was from, well, Southeast. My mother was from Northeast, and she grew up on potatoes. My dad grew up on grits, like, like just the different things that come together just within the one state of Southern culture. An incident where I faced discrimination. I don't know if it's called discrimination, but it was definitely, I think it's noteworthy. When I was growing up in New York, as a child, I had a friend that was Panamanian. And we were talking about being Black. And I was like, I was just like, we're Black. And she was like, no, I'm not Black. And the look of disgust on her face, I remember it. And I was like, of course you're Black. And she was like, no, I'm Panamanian. And so it became part of, I guess, my growing up and what I decided to like look into and study, and this relationship between the diaspora and how we define all of these different things that you're bringing up today, Martine. Race, nationality, ethnicity, but also pushing for a celebration of Black American culture as well, and knowing that there is culture, a lot of culture within my own culture, and should be celebrated just like any part of the diaspora. And I'm complete.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You covered a lot of what I want to talk about also. The share really, really, really made me happy. Because one of the things when I started to have these conversations, and I ran away from home when I was 16. I started living with somebody in Jersey. So I moved from New York to Jersey, and I found myself right back in the 80s. Literally, the Haitian people were on one side of the cafeteria, the Black Americans were on the other side. And I was like, are you freaking serious? It's the late 90s. What is going on? Y'all are so set back. And I found myself doing this all over again. And one of the things that I heard across the board that really, really bothered me, you know, when I gained the trust of Black Americans, and they would tell me, I have no culture. You're so lucky. You have a culture, and I have no culture. And I was like, are you freaking crazy? Of course you have a culture. And you know, and I would talk about Black history, but to them, it was kind of like the standard, and it's something that I never could understand. And I never 100% understood it until Munier. Am I going to get his name right? Is that what it is? Until something that he said, um, where I can see the difference. And I guess because, people picture Caribbean country as black run and it's ours, right? When if you're Caribbean, you know that that's not true. There's always some type of European influence. We're still suffering from colonization. But as far as the visuals and what you see and the culture, I see that now. How Black Americans could well, I guess the difference in growing up under your oppressor on the same land as them, there's more of them here than there are of you. So that really just clicked for me today. But that's something that I always um wanted to get through to my Black American friends, is that you do have a culture, you have a beautiful culture. Just because it's normal and we're in it with you and we're living through it, it doesn't take away from it. Like, that's why when I say, okay, what culture am I? I'm Haitian and I'm Haitian American. Those cultures are very different. I'm African American. That to me is different. I've always considered myself African American, but I did see the need for Black Americans to be able to distinguish themselves the way that we distinguish ourselves, especially because of what you're describing. When you're able to differentiate yourself, there's always going to be an element of pride. And I don't know if that automatically comes with looking down on others, because we always think our culture is the best culture, right? And the audacity of some people, it's one thing to think a certain way or have a fleeting thought, and it's another thing to actually open your mouth and say it. Um, it almost all of the diaspora look down on Black Americans. That is something that I will definitely admit. It's something that you hear every day. I heard it growing up from all my elders. But the more we learned and united, there came about a change. And it is both ways, because Black Americans do the same thing. Um, but I feel like now, especially as parents, we need to talk to our children about it, because we don't realize how much they're being influenced outside. We really don't realize how bad it is, and how this whole divide is starting to come about again. So I asked for 10 minutes. We have 2 more minutes before my 10 minutes. And I just want to leave it open for anybody else who has anything else to say. Um, there will be a part 2 sometime in September. But I thank y'all so much for this little intro session and for helping me make it happen.
Martine, before Jametta and Mania sign off, I'm curious about how they felt about doing this. You know, just short, because we have little time, but Jametta, come back if you can, and Mania, like, how did it feel sharing this? Because not everybody, first of all, knows these distinctions, and we don't talk about it often enough. It doesn't come up. Like, we talk about race a lot, but all these other layers don't get unpacked. So I was just curious, since y'all both answered and answered so in-depthly. So Jametta, can we start with you?
Just really quickly, I think I thought it was great. It also it took not a lot of thought, but I had to really think about like all the parts of me. And I mean, even in that description, I feel like there's still parts of my culture that I didn't even name, like and so it also causes you to think about who you are. And so I think it might have been easier for me to do it in some ways, but I know that those questions might be hard for others to answer, just based on my experience of all of those different things. So I'm glad that Martine broke that down for us today. Thank you. I'm complete.
Mania?
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, Well, personally, I'm very big on Black empowerment. That's currently what I'm in pursuit of through my business and through my nonprofit initiative. I'm currently engaged regularly in dialogue with individuals in the diaspora, and with the perceptions, different perceptions that we have with each other. So yeah, I was real comfortable with answering the question. It ties right into what's happening on a regular, and I think it's real important. I think it's real important that that dialogue is had, and that we are able to share our experience with each other, so that we can understand that we are one people. We do still face a lot of the same situations and the same conditions in different, even if it's in different regions. So yeah, I didn't have any problems with the questions, and I think it's definitely something that we want to pursue. We want to continue to have that type of dialogue, and I appreciate y'all for giving me that opportunity to share my own individual experience.
Thank you so much. All right. Anything else, Shawnee? In the chatter?
You want to hear, the chat shares. So Kate Sweetness says, Grand Rising Sister. This is a deep conversation that I welcome into my being. Another way of knowing stretches the mind. Denise Jacobs said, my mother's family was from the South. My father's family was from Grenada. Although both parents were born in New York, my mother's family always called me a coconut. Okay, Sweetness says, this has been good for me. I oftentimes avoid this topic. And Professor Marilyn said, please jump on this platform again next Wednesday when I get to identify myself in my series on restoration. All right, shameless plug, but it's all good.
Awesome.
All right, Martine, anything you want to say, last words before we close?
We can close. We can go to that last slide. I just want
Sure.
to quickly.
Hold on.
That I know Black. I'm not Black.
I know Black.
That somebody described, Afro-Latino, and I think it's because they associate Black with being Black American. Because a lot of Afro-Latinos, they don't denounce their African ancestry. They just don't want to be associated with being Black American. And when they hear Black, they don't look at it as a race. But if you see here, you are forced to choose Black or white, because I don't think they identify with being Asian or anything else, right? So this is the most commonly requested demographic information. And again, it's Black or white. And then they want to know if you're Latino. And then now, of course, we have gender identity. And if you can see, gender identity is broken down more than Black. And as the brother said, I identify as being Black because I guess I'm forced to, but what does that really mean? There's so many identities underneath being Black. And I don't want it to be broken up anymore. I really don't, because I do want to see more unification. So that's what we'll talk about next time. We can close out. Thank y'all so much. And let's definitely, everybody who's here, log into Professor Marilyn's session next time, because hopefully that'll be a good segue to whenever I come back in September. So make sure y'all come back.
All righty. So we complete here?
Yes.
Okay, what's up? So tell us how to be in touch with you, Lovey.
Here's my contact information. If you want to call me, text me, you can do so at the number there. My Facebook is Touch.the-Rebellion. That is for the nonprofit. Again, I teach child sexual abuse prevention. That's the Facebook for that. And my email is info@touchtherebellion.org. That's a good email to reach me at if you so wish.
Awesome. Y'all be in touch now. Super important. Love offering. So we always invite folk in this space who are willing and able to share resources and to contribute to the Wake Up Everybody virtual community. For those who are new, we've been here for 5+ years. Our anniversary was on March 29th. Started this during COVID. And any resources that come in are to maintain infrastructure. And I thank those in this space that give, including Martine as one of them, monthly to support our efforts and our manifestations in this space. So these are just opportunities for you to give monthly. When we do 90-minute sessions, we share more elaborately on the love offerings, and we do emphasize love offerings. We don't want you giving begrudgingly. Money is energy, and when you share your energy and vibration around money and assets and abundance, when you do that generously and with love, it comes back to you 100-fold. So give and it will come back to you. And next up for our final session for this week, we have Hattie McCutcheon, Coach Hattie, and her topic is how to influence yourself, why it's key to your success. Oh, we got to fix this slide. And if her success is connected to that hat she rocking, then we know she's balling. She's an abundantly flowing woman. So come back tomorrow, July 31st, last day of the month, so that you can rock with us and close out the month powerfully. And invite others, please. So the Woo Nation welcomes all new members. And we're so grateful. Manira, I haven't seen you before, but that doesn't mean you're new to Wake Up. Maybe I've missed you coming on, but thank you for being here. Thank you for volunteering to share your experience and your story and your hope and all that good stuff. And we just want members to know that are new that we're here to learn, elevate, and ascend. And we can do that best when we are in community and when we are with you. And our schedule for the support or to support the ascension is Sunday through Thursday. We're here 5 days a week. We start at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time each day that we are here. Once again, Sunday through Thursday, we have 90-minute sessions and 30-minute sessions. Today was a 30-minute session that ran a little bit over, but it was worth it. So thank you again, Manera and Jametta, for sharing your identities with us and how you feel about all of this as it relates to your beingness. On Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, we're here from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. And then Monday and Wednesday, 7 to 7:30. And if you want to be reminded to come into the space because you forget, you might oversleep, you can put your name into the hat for an automated text. How you do that is use the number at the bottom right of this slide. It's 74121. It's not a 7-digit number, but it's a number you can text. And you just text and then put the words Woo Nation all in one, capitalize, and send it to this number. And then we'll be adding you to the automated text automatically. And if you want to stop it, you can just, so the same number, just type in stop all caps and it will stop sending you the text messages. It's that simple. So you don't have to get upset or annoyed. You just need to send stop and it'll stop. And we want to thank you and ask you to stay in touch energetically, to keep us in mind and heart and spirit, to stay in touch by giving, as I mentioned. And then also you can register for Wake Up and receive e-blasts weekly about what we're going to be talking about for the week, the facilitator, their bio, their headshot, the title and summary of their session. So we send that out weekly so that people know what's up and what's coming. We encourage you to share with other people about this space because this is not just for us. So be generous, and tell your friends and family. And just a heads up, we are going to be doing Friends and Family Day where we designate a time like quarterly where we encourage everyone to invite friends and family into this sacred space so that we can keep growing and expanding. Because as Martine said, there's definitely a wave of shifts that are happening and they impact people who are part of the diasporic experience, socially and politically, financially. Like there are layers. People lost jobs, going to lose insurance, lose opportunity. Our safety net programs are being impacted across the nation and the world. So please do think of this as a space you can come to do work, to process that, to be covered, cared for, loved on, and appreciated and honored for what you bring to the world. We're on Instagram, so follow us there at Wake Up Everybody Virtual, and also YouTube. Follow us on YouTube, and these links will take you there so that you can engage beyond the morning sessions. And if you have testimony, information, if you want to share feedback, if you want to recommend a facilitator or volunteer in this space, just email us at info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. So let me take this down and invite you to celebrate our beloved Martine. So for those who are new to the space, we do what we call a love shower, so that we can honor like the folks. People applaud, but what we do is we give love and pour our voices into people. So come off mute, family, so we can love on Martine.
Thank you, beloved. Thank you. Love you, love you, love you.
For your kindness,
Thank you,
your
Martine.
wisdom,
Martine.
Grand
So
Rising,
appreciate
Yes,
great,
you.
thank
great.
you,
Welcome
Martine.
back.
Thank
Love
you
you
for the
guys.
info.
Turn on
Thank
the
you,
screen.
thank you.
Peter's in my brain.
Thank you.
It's back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
It's
Love y'all.
all right. Love you too,
Enjoy the
baby.
rest of your week.